Chosen one, listen carefully. This is not a coincidence. This is an urgent divine alert that has reached you for a reason. God has spoken, and Elon Musk's dream of building a future where humanity survives and thrives is tied to the same truth that is being revealed to you now. The days ahead will not be ordinary. A storm is rising, a global spiritual surge that will separate the awakened from the lost. You have been chosen to survive. But survival is not about strength alone. It is about obedience. God has commanded. In this season, you're only allowed to eat 3 sacred foods. Nothing else. Everything else will drain you, poison your energy, and trap you in weakness. The foods you consume are not just fuel for your body. They are the foundation of your spiritual power. Elon Musk knows that for rockets to break Earth's gravity, they need pure, precise fuel. The same is true for you. If you want to rise above the pull of fear, doubt, and destruction, you must fuel yourself with purity. Chosen one, understand this. The wrong foods will bind your destiny, but the right 3 will unlock your divine strength, awaken your hidden gifts, and carry you safely into the transformation that is already unfolding across the world. This is not just about eating. It's about aligning. It's about being ready. It's about living as the chosen one you already are. God has marked you. Heaven has sent this message, and your obedience will save not only your life, but your mission. This is not a warning to take lightly. The days ahead will test you like never before. The coming pandemic, the global spiritual upheaval, many will not make it. But if you commit to these 3 sacred foods, you will be unstoppable. You are no longer just human. You are a spiritual warrior chosen to rise above. The power you need is inside you, and these 3 foods will unlock it. Before we dive into this life-changing message, take a moment to pause this video and do 3 things. Hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 90,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 99. This number will send a powerful signal to the universe, amplifying the energy of this video. And remember, if you are truly a chosen one, you'll watch this video until the end. Because deep down, your spirit already knows that this is for you. If you're not ready to receive this truth, you might not make it to the end. But for those who do, your life will never be the same. Now let's get into it. Do not ignore this message. Do not delay. The time to prepare is now. Eat only rice, beans, and salmon fish. This is the key to your survival and your transformation. Are you ready to become unstoppable? The choice is yours. This is a divine instruction, an urgent call to the chosen ones. Only 3 foods have been declared safe and spiritually charged for the coming days: rice, beans, and salmon. Everything else, no matter how organic or clean it may appear, is contaminated either by the hand of man, trauma of slaughter, or genetic manipulation. God's voice in this hour is clear and unwavering. The world is on the edge of massive spiritual awakening, but also of deep chaos and confusion. The old ways of eating, living, and thinking won't sustain what's coming. This is not about food alone. It's about survival, clarity, and becoming who you were destined to be. The chosen ones are being separated and purified, and part of that purification is happening on your plate. Why rice, beans, and salmon? Because they are more than nutrition. They are spiritual technologies hidden in plain sight. These foods carry frequencies of grounding, healing, and clarity. They're simple, ancient, and untouched in ways that matter. When eaten in obedience, they become tools of divine alignment, restoring what's been lost mentally, physically, and spiritually. In the physical realm, these 3 foods are nutritional powerhouses. Rice provides sustainable energy. Beans are packed with life-giving protein and fiber, and salmon delivers vital omega-3s that ignite your brain and heal inflammation. But what most don't realize is that their value goes far beyond the body. These foods were chosen by God because they fuel the soul. For the chosen ones, survival is not just about staying alive. It's about staying in purpose. These 3 foods will preserve your clarity in a time of mass confusion, strengthen your body in a time of weakness, and ignite your spirit in a world drifting into darkness. Right? Amen. to feel the peace of the angels and show your support with a super thank you up to $20. Just as God gave manna in the wilderness, He now gives you this holy trio. Ignore this instruction and you may find yourself overwhelmed, foggy, and spiritually disconnected. History shows us that God always prepares His people before a shift. Noah built the ark. Joseph stored the grain. Esther fasted for favor. Now you are being instructed to prepare, not with fear, but with faithful obedience. Rice, beans, and salmon may seem too simple, but in their simplicity lies profound power. God doesn't complicate survival. He sanctifies it. In this spiritual war, not all food is innocent. Much of what is marketed today, the colorful packaging, the lab-grown meats, the heavily processed health snacks, are spiritual traps in disguise. They are created in systems that do not honor life, energy, or spirit. These foods disconnect you from your higher self, weaken your body, and fog your spiritual antenna. Imagine eating the flesh of a terrified animal, slaughtered without mercy, its trauma absorbed into its cells. That energy doesn't disappear. It enters you. Or consider the seedless fruits, the GMO grains, the lab-cultured dairy. These are not foods. They are fragments of dead matter that carry no life force. You may feel full, but you're starving at the soul level. This is not paranoia. This is discernment. The enemy knows that to dull a people's power, he must first dull their diet. When your fuel is fake, your fire is weak. But when your fuel is sacred, you become unshakable. Rice, beans, and salmon are spiritually clean, untouched by synthetic engineering and trauma. They're not just survival food. They're spiritual armor. We are witnessing a global shaking, systems crumbling, truths being unveiled, and spiritual eyes being opened. This isn't just political or environmental. This is spiritual warfare unfolding before our eyes. And in the middle of this storm, a surge is rising. A wave of divine power meant for those who are ready. The chosen ones are feeling it. You're sensing the urgency. The dreams are clearer. The atmosphere feels charged. You're not imagining it. The shift is real. And in this global surge, not everyone will rise. Only those who are spiritually prepared, physically grounded, and mentally aligned will ride the wave of transformation. Food is a critical part of this preparation. Just as a phone needs the right charger, your soul needs the right fuel. Rice, beans, and salmon may seem ordinary, but they are extraordinary spiritual tools disguised in common form. Eating them is not just a choice. It's an act of alignment with divine frequency. You're not meant to stay the same. You are evolving not into a better human, but into a higher being, one fully aligned with divine purpose. This transformation requires fuel that matches your destiny. Just like you wouldn't put water in a jet engine, you cannot feed your ascending soul with junk and expect it to soar. Rice grounds your spirit, beans build your internal temple, and salmon ignites your mental fire. These three foods are designed to rewire you, to cleanse old programming, and to rebuild your body from the inside out. They're not just food. They are codes of healing, regeneration, and divine identity. There's a reason ancient cultures survived on these staples. They didn't have processed meals or chemical-laden snacks. They had nature, and nature was enough. Today, God is calling us back to the sacred simplicity of divine fuel. Not to regress, but to ascend stronger, sharper, and more connected than ever. Every bite you take either builds you or breaks you. Foods that come from trauma carry trauma. The meat industry is a system of fear, stress, and suffering. Animals raised in cruelty release hormones of terror that stay locked in their muscles. When you eat that meat, you consume that energy. It sits in your body like a spiritual toxin. Genetically modified organisms, GMOs, are another silent weapon. They may look like food, but they are spiritually empty. Designed in labs, manipulated on a cellular level, these foods distort natural balance. They confuse your body, cloud your mind, and interrupt your spiritual flow. The chosen ones cannot afford to be spiritually distracted or energetically drained. God is merciful, and so He's giving you the warning now. Detox your plate. Cleanse your temple. Cut off the silent enemies. It may be hard at first, but your body will thank you. Your spirit will soar. Your intuition will sharpen. Your sleep will deepen. Your connection to the divine will no longer be muffled. It will roar. Your destiny is not a mystery. It's a frequency. And what you consume either raises or lowers that frequency. Every cell in your body listens to what you eat. If you're feeding a dead, lifeless food, your energy reflects that. But when you begin to nourish yourself with food that's aligned with heaven's design, something miraculous happens. You awaken. Rice, beans, and salmon are not magical because of calories. They are coated with energy, purpose, and purity. Rice has fed prophets and pilgrims across centuries. Grounding, humbling, yet energizing. Beans, rich with nutrients and rooted in tradition, are ancient symbols of sustainability and strength. Salmon swimming against the current mirrors the chosen ones, relentless, powerful, and sacred. Its oils are brain food, divine fire for your thoughts. When you begin to eat with intention, every meal becomes a ritual of alignment. You're not just feeding hunger, you're feeding vision. You're building stamina for the assignment ahead. These foods are like sacred scrolls written in biological form. And when they enter your body, they don't just sit in your stomach. They activate your calling, awaken your intuition, and fortify your walk. Many of you feel it. The fatigue, the fog, the weariness of modern living. You remember what it felt like to be vibrant, alive, full of vision. But somewhere along the way, that fire dimmed. This is not age catching up. This is a disconnect between your body and its true fuel. But the good news is it can return. As you begin to honor God's dietary instruction, you will start to feel the change almost immediately. Your skin begins to glow. Your joints move with ease. Your energy rises naturally, not from caffeine or sugar, but from divine nourishment. You will feel younger because you're no longer weighed down by dead food. Instead, you're filled with living energy. Purpose returns with vitality. As your body heals, your mind clears. The goals you once forgot start rising back to the surface. Your hands itch to build, create, heal, help. Your heart begins to feel passion again. These three foods, rice and beans and salmon, may seem humble, but in the mouth of the chosen one, they become sacraments of restoration. A new wave is approaching. It may not look like the last pandemic, but it will shake the earth again. Fear will rise. Supply chains may collapse. Medicine may become unreliable. But the chosen ones have already been given their survival plan. Obey the food command, and you will stand while others fall. Obedience isn't about religion. It's about spiritual alignment and divine protection. Just as the Israelites put blood over their doors to avoid the plague, today's mark of divine preservation is in your obedience to this prophetic instruction. You don't need to stockpile panic. You need to stockpile faith, wisdom, and the three sacred foods God has revealed. Right? Amen. To feel the peace of the angels and show your support with a super thank you up to $20. Those who listen will walk through the fire untouched. Their immune systems will remain strong. Their minds will stay clear. Their households will be at peace. This is not superstition. This is heaven's strategy for survival. It's not just about what you eat. It's about who you become when you say yes to God's voice. The transformation isn't coming. It's already begun. If you fell out of place, out of sync, or even alienated recently, it's because you're shedding your old form. You are not who you were a year ago. You're not even who you were a month ago. You are evolving spiritually, emotionally, and even biologically. This change demands more than willpower. It demands the right fuel. As you become more light-filled, your body cannot process what it used to. Fast food, processed snacks, and heavy meats now feel like poison. That's because your new identity rejects the old fuel. You can't put gas in a jet plane, and you can't put toxic food in a rising spiritual being. Rice, beans, and salmon are vibrational matches for the new you. They are not meant for the average person. They are for the awakened. Just as butterflies cannot digest what caterpillars eat, you are now moving in realms that require purity, discipline and alignment. Your future self is calling. And these foods are the bridge between who you are and who you're becoming. Science is finally catching up to what God has already declared. Food affects everything. Your gut health connects directly to your brain, mood, and spiritual perception. Your DNA is not static. It responds to input, especially from what you eat. That means your body can be reprogrammed not by medicine, but by obedient nutrition. Rice is known to stabilize blood sugar and calm the nervous system. Beans regenerate the gut lining and reduce inflammation. Salmon heals the brain, improves focus, and lifts depression. These aren't just health benefits. They are supernatural technologies. God hid healing in nature, and now he's revealing the blueprint to his people. As you eat these foods daily, you'll feel shifts that are hard to explain. You'll hear clearer, feel lighter, and think sharper. Your body begins to operate in divine alignment, like a well-tuned instrument. You don't just get healthier, you get activated. This is not a diet. This is a divine download written into your cells. Mental fog is one of the biggest attacks on the chosen ones today. You feel it. The struggle to focus, the forgetfulness, the emotional numbness. It's not just stress. It's the byproduct of contaminated food and overstimulation. Your brain, the throne of divine insight, has been under siege, but now it's being set free. Salmon's omega-3s are not just nutrients. They're like fire to a wet match. They reignite dormant parts of the brain, enhance memory, and reconnect spiritual pathways. Beans provide the fiber that detoxifies your gut, which directly affects your mood and clarity. Rice supplies the steady energy that your brain thrives on, keeping you sharp without burnout. As you begin to nourish your brain with sacred foods, the fog begins to lift. Dreams return. Revelation flows. Your focus sharpens. You wake up excited again. Ideas come faster. Your connection to God feels alive and intimate. You're no longer reacting to, you are receiving. This is your mind under divine influence fueled by obedience. This is more than a moment. It's a movement. A divine dietary shift has begun. It's not being pushed by celebrities, wellness brands, or government agencies. It's coming straight from the throne of God. And it's simple. Rice, beans, and salmon. In this time of preparation, your plate is your altar. There will be days ahead when fear tries to speak louder than faith. When chaos screams and headlines flash, your obedience will be your peace. You won't need to Google survival plans. You'll have already aligned with God's. This diet is preparation for war. A spiritual war where your clarity, strength, and resilience will be tested. Don't wait for the shaking to start obeying. Build your body now. Train your spirit now. Sharpen your mind now. Rice, beans, and salmon may seem small, but they are tools of heavenly warfare. And every time you choose them, you say to the heavens, I'm ready. You're not being punished. You're being promoted. This calling, this instruction, this sacred diet, it's all part of your spiritual upgrade. The world is being sifted, but while others are searching for meaning, the chosen ones are stepping into purpose. And that requires transformation at every level. This isn't about being better than others. It's about being in alignment with your assignment. You've been called to stand, to lead, to heal, to build. That's a high calling. And high callings require high discipline. The divine upgrade begins when you say yes, not just with your words, but with your fork. Every bite of rice, every spoon of beans, every serving of salmon is a signal to heaven that you're ready. Not just to survive, but to thrive. You're not just cleaning your diet, you're clearing your channel. God is about to pour through you, but only if the vessel is ready. This isn't just spiritual. Your physical body will begin to heal in ways you forgot were possible. Inflammation will decrease. Pain will fade. Your skin, hair, and energy will radiate with new life. You'll look in the mirror and see a new version of yourself, stronger, clearer, and more alive. Rejuvenation is not just for the young. It's for the obedient. Your cells are listening. And when they're fed with holy fuel, they rebuild in alignment with divine perfection. You'll begin to crave what's good, not because of discipline, but because your body recognizes truth. You'll rise earlier, sleep deeper, think clearer, love harder, and through it all, your spirit will shine. Because this isn't about looking good. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. A vessel of power, a channel of light, a warrior of peace. You are not just human, you are divine. And now you're finally feeding that truth. There's a level of energy coming to your body that cannot be explained by science. It is supernatural endurance, a divine surge that will carry you through the challenges ahead. As you align with the sacred foods God has assigned, rice, beans, and salmon, you'll find yourself powered by a force that goes beyond sleep, caffeine, or supplements. This is the kind of strength the prophets of old carried when they walked for days without rest, when they stood against empires with nothing but truth in their mouths. Your body was not made to run on artificial fuel. It was designed to operate in rhythm with nature and heaven. The fatigue you've known, the dragging morns, the short tempers, the brain fog is not your natural state. It was a byproduct of being out of sync with the divine source. Now, as you return to God's fuel plan, your system will reset and the true vitality of your design will awaken. You won't just get through your days, you'll dominate them. Right? Amen. To feel the peace of the angels and show your support with a super thank you up to $20. Imagine waking up without an alarm, your feet touching the floor with purpose, your mind already clear, your body light and strong. Imagine working through the day without burnout, without emotional crashes, without needing to escape. This is what supernatural energy looks like. And it comes not from hype, but from holy alignment. When your nutrition is in sync with your spiritual assignment, you become a vessel that flows effortlessly with divine stamina. You'll also notice that this energy is not chaotic. It's focused, calm, and under divine discipline. The chosen ones are not meant to live in survival mode. They are meant to be carriers of peace, healing, and vision. That requires strength. And that strength is now being poured into you as you obey this sacred command. You will walk longer, speak stronger, endure more, and radiate life, all without burning out. God is not just preparing you, He's positioning you. And one of the most powerful tools He's using in this season is your obedience to divine instructions, especially the ones that seem small. Obeying this simple command to eat only rice, beans, and salmon is not about restriction. It's about activation. When you obey, you unlock a flow of divine acceleration over your life. What would normally take years will begin to happen in weeks. Delays will dissolve. Relationships will align. Opportunities will arise seemingly out of nowhere. This isn't magic. It's spiritual cause and effect. Heaven responds to obedience. Just as Abraham's obedience made him the father of nations, yours will unlock inheritance, momentum, and breakthrough. God is moving quickly in this hour, but only those in alignment can move with Him. Obedience is the key that turns the engine of divine movement. And in this season, God is not asking for complicated rituals.